but this one is going to be different compared to the other game mode, which is 5CP. Because King of the Hill is played wildly differently compared to the other game mode. Oops, that's the wrong one. Is it this one? It was that one. So, ooh, by the way, if you can't tell, I got into HUD editing. I hope you like it. But
You got into what?
Cool.
HUD editing slash making. Yeah, but basically, like, I guess I'll just explain the map first, and then kind of explain the differences between 5CP and Koth. Because a lot of that is kind of obvious, but the way that the game mode is played is obviously, like, wildly different to 5CP. So, all King of the Hill maps, including Bagel, are very simple. Because the maps are really small, there's not really that many callouts. But I guess I'll go over that first. So,
Yeah.
starting from spawn. You have spawn. I guess you can call this like spawn yard or something. This is main, just this entire area down to there. This is upper, this is lower. This is jump pad, because it's a jump pad. And then this is main again. So, that pretty much just explains all of that. If you want to differentiate over here, you can call this boiler, because the boilers. And then, here's lower. You can, because this is a common area, you can call this lower pack if you want. Again, this is main. Ooh, these are stairs. I know, no way, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
You can call this
there.
concrete or plat. This is lefty, and over there is righty. And it flips depending on the side you're on, obviously, but having the commonality of lefty-righty makes it simple. Plus, it's less syllables than saying, like, left house or right house. I don't know. I think in the RGL thing, they, like, have distinct callouts for both, but I don't really like those. I just say lefty-righty. This is point. You can call this nipple if you want. Yeah, most people are saying nipple.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's the nipple.
Yeah, I love touching nipple.
Nepal.
This is the same map as
Is
Cauldron, right?
Yeah,
but,
Cauldron
like,
is the Halloween
not Halloween
version.
mode.
Okay.
They let
I actually
Cauldron
met the person that
bagels
made bagel
So
slash Cauldron. They're
is
pretty
just
cool.
a Halloween version of nipple. Got it.
Bagel.
It's just a cauldron.
Yeah, but those are pretty much all the callouts. You can distinct this with as fans if you want. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
there
guy
are
on
those two
fans,
roofs over there.
but
What was lower again?
what, awning?
Yeah.
Sure, you can call it awning. Roof, that's fine. What, lower?
Well,
Over here?
I think someone's gonna.
Yeah, so boiler is the room where
Boiler is like up the slope, and then
I'm talking
down
like,
here is lower.
Like
There's no upper?
just where the
Yeah, upper's over here.
Oh, right. Alright. I thought this was main.
No, because over here is main.
Oh, okay.
But main will lead into upper or lower, and then upper can lead into main.
Well,
But
since
the
vault
specific spot
room
where
is
the
usual,
And then
medipack
this
is
is
what's
concrete.
it called?
Okay, there are like three of you talking.
No
What?
way!
Like the place where the medipack is on lower, like that specific spot, like that choke point. How is it called? Like behind you.
Here? Or here?
No. Yeah, there.
I
My
mean,
team calls that lower ramp.
yeah. You can
Yeah,
call it that.
Okay, right.
it's the room that's
I mean,
lower.
this is more of like a common call out anyway, which is why I said lower pack. But if you want to say like, I don't know, righty pack or whatever, and then this is lower pack, it's up to you guys. but I've never had an issue calling this lower pack. So yeah, I guess I can talk about the rollout next, since that's most of the callouts. If this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically,
Soldier, Miss Pauling here.
neither of your soldiers will be doing spawn jumps. So at the start of every round, like in 5CP pocket, you're doing this, but in King of the Hill, you're both standing still because it's just not really a point to do the pickaxe rollout, really. So what teams, at least at the highest level, have started doing is just having both soldiers stand still and static spawn. And then your demo will get buffed to 260 2 times as usual. And then as soon as your med can, you know, he/she will start buffing your soldiers, both of them. I guess that's kind of the hard part about this rollout, because it can be super fucking annoying, and I would know to buff both of your soldiers while they're waddling out with the scouts like meshing themselves inside of each other. But hopefully the spawn is decent enough to where that isn't too hard. But essentially your roamer will be going lower, doing whatever jump they want to do. And then your pocket...
Say that again?
Sure. You don't have to be like turbo fast, because the point is
make it to mid on
locked.
time.
I mean, the point is locked for like 10 seconds after everyone gets there, so there's not really a rush. But I guess you can do something like this if you want to be fast, where you try to speed shot. I'm not good at soldier, but if you can get the speed shot, then that's cool.
No, you're good at soldier. We saw that amazing rollout.
And then your pocket will just kind of do these 2 jumps and then just walk.
Yeah. If you're a pro gamer, then you get like 1 or 2 pogos there.
What, with the roamer rollout, or?
Pocket.
I mean, you probably shouldn't, because you want to be walking so you get buffed.
I love health.
Looks cooler
Unless there's like a specific rollout you're wanting to do, to where you get to lefty super fast, and you can just like be standing here so you can stuff them. Or even like shoot the guy up there. But this will lead me into talking about how the map is played.
No demo rollout?
I mean, it's the same as pocket. You literally do like 1 sticky. I don't know.
What makes me a good demo man? If I were a bad demo man, I would be sitting here discussing with you now, would I?
There it is. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess I'll just chill on demo now. So
Also, the demo should be charging stickies to throw to the stairs of the enemy team, right?
yeah, you can do that.
Also, just behind you, on the stairs.
You mean
that
like there?
spot is a good spot to play stickies, like on the left.
What? Do you mean like
You
here?
don't like the crate?
No. Just behind you.
Oh, you're talking like on the
Yeah,
crates over
that
there?
part.
On the left?
I mean, soldiers do like to bomb there.
You see the wooden like fence, like the part under that.
I mean, yeah, you're talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you're like forward holding, which I'll get to. Let me think. So, a lot of the initial mid-fight is chilling, unless you don't want to. Like other maps, I guess, but Koth is different because at the very start of the map, the point is not available for cap. Unlike 5CP, where you can cap when you get to mid, you have to wait like 10-15 seconds for the cap to be open. So, in turn, a lot of hyper-aggressive plays at the start of the map aren't really suggested, because you can, like, turbo bomb, yeah, but what happens then? Because the other team, if they're thinking, can just be like, well, the point isn't capped, so giving up the space doesn't really matter yet, so we can just dip back into our upper and then just explode them. So...
Do you think using crits will be viable?
What?
Do you think using crits will be viable?
Using crits?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing on 5CP. If you want to roll out crits, you need to basically make sure you win the fight. And if both meds die, you have the option of crits. But besides that, I never really recommend it because crits.
I mean, in case like we are winning by 1 round, like I think we could just crit.
If you want to, but you need to. I guess it's something you have to see is like everything has to go correct for crits to even be a thing in the first place, and on top of that, you need to rely on whoever gets crits gets the kills that they need to. And yes, crits makes that easier, but in general, Uber is a lot safer, but crits crits is like big risk, high reward sort of deal. You know, kind of like a lot of unlockable weapons. But crits and 6s exemplifies that the most. But yeah, you just need to because of the higher build rate too. Like, you can build it a lot faster than stock. But just make sure you're getting it. Before they get Uber. Does that kind of answer Crit's question? Are there any other crits questions? I guess I haven't talked about crits.
Yeah, it answered my question. Would I have other questions related to Romer? But we can get to it later.
Yeah, later. Okay, so at the start of every mid, you can. It's kind of general, I guess, but your pocket can roll out to here and start spamming, just like over there. Your roamer can roll out. My roamer rolls out main. Just like gets the pack there, jumps to here, and starts spamming the stairs. Because if both soldiers and the demo are spamming over there, that's where their med's coming out, right? So you can potentially get early damage on whoever. Or the med. Scouts. Pocket scout, you can roll out up there on fans if you want. If you have the winger, you can do it from here. But if you only have pistol, you have to jump on this box and then jump over there.
What about flank?
You can play on the floor or closer to right A. Just chilling, basically.
Should be flank.
A lot
like
of.
the roamer?
Huh?
Like flank scout should be closer to the roamer?
So that's the thing with King of the Hill, and especially Bagel, is flank scout is, I guess a better way to describe it is a lot of people say that Koth has 2 pocket scouts and 2 roamers, because just how the game mode is set up. But how flank scout plays on this map is you're rotating between the houses, between either soldier that needs help. So it's common for lefty to get shoved by their flank first. So if your pocket soldier who rolls out here says they're shoving lefty, then your flank scout needs to come over to help. And then your other teammates are over here making sure they don't walk across point. And your demo or a pocket can shoot a sticky or rockets up there to help, but don't overcommit on ammo for it. But a majority of the time, once kind of point opens up and things start flowing a bit, pocket scout, you're mostly going to be trying to bait the cap. Now, not like 24/7 constantly, but you're chilling like getting healthy, and then you're calming to your team, I'm baiting cap, and then all of your teammates should be like aggressive in houses, not necessarily demo. Like, don't pay attention to the fact I'm on demo right now because you're like on the point all the time. But like your pocket can like be up here if possible and like shoot things that are on the point, right? Just be wary of getting shoved. And then, like, if your flank wants to and they communicate to each other, you know, we're gonna shove righty, everyone can start getting aggressive then while they, like, blitz themselves through. Let me think. But yeah, those are kind of like the general strats, besides one thing which I'll talk about later, is pretty much just I'm baiting cap, in which your med should be latching on to your players on point, like, all the time, if possible. And, you know, if your scout's baiting the cap left, then your demo's on the right side shooting things. And if your scout's on the right side, then your demo should be on the left shooting things. Just so that you two are not, like, within each other eating the same damage is the concept, so... does that kind of make sense, the baiting cap deal? Just, like, basically just calming, you're gonna bait cap, and then your team should be, like, attempting to get aggressive. Not, like, so aggressive to where you're dying, but enough to make them fear.
About that, I had a question regarding Romer. Like, when the scout is baiting cap, I usually like to try to bomb them from behind. Like, I go to lefty and I rocket jump from the doors outside lefty to
Here?
to the jump pad.
So the deal with walking through lefty like this, you're just jumping from here?
No, not there.
Oh.
Outside, like to the lower pack.
Here?
No. You just go straight until you get outside of the lefty house.
Like over here?
Yeah, you see that wall on your right?
Oh, right, you're talking about jumping from here.
Yeah, from
well,
that,
yeah, if you can get behind, then yeah. But if their flank is holding it down properly, then and you can't get through, there are a few other bombs that there are.
Yeah, to the lower, what's it called? Lower ramp.
Lower ramp, like over here.
Yeah, basically jumping to that place, then going to a jump pad, and then trying to get a pick on the medic or someone who is distracted because we are baiting capping point, or basically we are making a lot of noise. The pocket soldier could try to fake bomb, so that usually works.
Is this from their side or?
No, like from the left, well, that's right house, like from the house to the jump pad, basically from lefty to jump pad is the route.
Right.
Rocket jump from outside lefty and go to their jump pad. Yeah, just that.
Well, yeah.
Jump pad,
again, if you can do it,
go to main.
Then your two options are to either commit immediately when you get to here, or to get behind them, and that's fine, if you're able to get through. But, yeah, if you're scout spinning cab, you can try to go for that if you want. You just need to make sure your team knows, in case you die. Because if you do die, then there's not a soldier in a house, and that's bound to get shoved eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think I should call out when my team should start making noise, like baiting cap or faking bombs, so they don't see me and I can try to get a pick on their medic or someone.
Well, that's why a lot of the time, the guy that's...
Which class would you consider that is worth, like, dying for?
Flank scout. Or what do you mean?
Like, if I do that play, like trying to go to the jump pad, like behind them, what class it is worth dying for?
A good trade is any class besides soldier. Because, like, a scout is a better trade, a demo is a better trade, a med's a better trade depending on the situation. But, I mean, usually you're doing that because you want to get on the med, so. But, I was about to say, like, the people doing the flank plays like that is probably your flank scout, because you need a soldier in-house most of the time. Not that soldiers can't bomb. I guess I can talk about that. But, I guess to finish up on the mid-fight, is bagel is one of two things at any given time, and it's either just like super passive spam fest, or it is like the grindiest meat grinder in the game, besides maybe product. And the reason being is because of the cap. So on bagel, the cap time is a lot shorter than other even 5CP maps or Koth maps. So the point will be flipping constantly. So a lot of the time you are baiting cap, more or less. Incoming! But you just need to be wary as a scout of your demo's positioning, so you're kind of on the point opposite to them. And demo, you need to be wary of, like, if your scout's being shot at especially, you can, like, trap people off and try not to get ran at. But I guess that's another thing too. King of the Hill in general is very DM heavy. Although there is like strategy to every map, a lot of it can be simplified to shoot them better / like if we win, then forward hold. If we lose, then 4-man. That's kind of the flow chart of King of the Hill. But the way the cap is, you need to recognize that chasing forward for kills is not a good thing to do, because the cap is here, and especially since everything besides concrete is low ground. So if you're chasing to down here, it's probably not good. Unless you're a soldier, maybe, because you'll be high. Being high is awesome.
One soldier out.
I love getting high.
What?
But for flank scout, you don't want to push too hard. Same as like pocket.
I mean, your life on flank scout is, specifically on bagel, is honestly a lot more flexible than even a soldier. Because your soldiers can do bombs, but if they do that, they need to make sure that they are getting kills and you guys are walking with it, like, every time. Because if you're just, like, chilling while your soldiers bomb, then your houses aren't being watched, and your demo can only watch one thing at a time. So, I guess what I'm saying is, like, a lot of the chimp plays need to be made as a team here, more so than the other 3 maps you guys are going to play. But at the same time, if there's an opening, then your flank scout is probably going to be taking that rather than a soldier. But, I don't know, there are all kinds of bombs on this map. Most of them I don't really know about. Huh?
Is trying to do any spy picks worth in this map?
What?
Trying to do a spy pick.
Like, run a spy?
Mm-hmm.
You totally can. But, like, King of the Hill, more than other maps, can be off-class heavy because of the static nature of the point. So, if you guys really want to run a pyro, you can, or a heavy, you can. I wouldn't necessarily recommend sniper unless you're, like, cracked, because of the way this point is, it covers a lot of everything, and you can't really, like, sit back super far because your sightline will get covered a lot. Which is why people like bagel, by the way. But, you know, spy can work too. if you want to run them, if you guys like all wiped on mid or something. Let me think. So, generally when you want to all like go in, your soldiers can do whatever bomb and everyone needs to walk. It's similar to a mid fight. You can kind of think of Koth as like just one continuous mid fight, like constantly occurring, more or less. Especially when you like bust in and you're fighting for the point, but I don't know a lot of the bombs on this map. I mean, you can jump over there, can't you? So something like this can work. There's that up there. I'm not sure how viable it is to jump off that. I think you like kind of have to C-tap. But if you find out a way to jump off it, then probably do, because you can get super high. You can jump off of the nipple too. That can work. I mean, shit, there's all kinds of things you can jump off of, but I guess kind of there is kind of one thing. You can pogo through here if you want, if you're good, / using original. But yeah. There's probably... Actually, there isn't a Marmalade map review. I know there's a Banny map review. He probably talks better about bomb spotch than I do. By the way, if you're Roamer and you want to, like, get into this house, you want to, like, jump into it. You don't want to, like, waddle. It's the same thing with, like, doorways, where even if it's just, like, that kind of jump, you gotta do it, because it just makes it easier to get through the door. Especially if there's a soldier there, or Dema has stickies, but... I don't know, you can jump off it like that, if you want. Just make sure, like, if you want to go into the right house, you need to tell your flank scout, and be like, I want to shove righty, flank scout, come with me, and then, you know, jump in, like, hold your fist up in the air or something as you do it. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess most of the soldier things. I guess, a chair would be, if you have the point, you want to be wildly more passive. Like, you can sit up here and spam if you want, drop down if you take damage. Kinda chill in this lefty house, spam. Don't really try to, like, bomb, unless your main caller calls it, or you just see a really good opportunity and they almost have cap. Because if you're feeding on defense, it's kind of bad most of the time, unless one specific scenario, which I'll talk about in a sec. But
Who's
huh?
Who's the main caller?
Typically it's Pocket Scout, but if they don't want to, someone in the combo can.
Alright.
Let me think. But yeah, I think that's most of the have point things. There's also forward holding. So if you wipe them on mid or on point, then one sec. If you wipe them, or you have all 6 up and they're backing off, you can decide to do a 4-man and call it, or fuck me, forward hold and call it, because this basically lets you come up to all the doors that they're trying to come out of to get the space onto point and lock them down. So your 2 soldiers will be up here on concrete. You can have a soldier here, like standing on these boxes, just, you know, spamming spotting, and your other soldier is around main. You can spam the box, chill, don't die for anything, pretty much. Your medic will be over here too, tanking the soldiers. Unless called to rotate, and I'll get to that in a sec. And your pocket scout's over here too. Your flank scout is standing over here, chilling with your demo man, who's gonna be here. Roughly, you can play like up here in the house, but you'll have sticks on this left doorway, and because of the way this door is, it's just better for demo, as opposed to these doors being more comfortable with soldiers. It's more so that this door is good for demo man than these doors being good for soldier. So yeah, you have sticks up, spamming pipes, chilling. So, if you ever encounter them forward holding, what you need to do is see that they have a soldier there and be like, they're forward holding, come lower. And what needs to occur at this point is a soldier needs to jump through and presumably not die to the traps. You can jump through or clear it in various ways. There's like you see this little lip thing, right? This little lip thing will help you splash the stickies off, also this roof. But either splashing the stickies off or just jumping through, however you can get in. And then the rest of your team should follow up.
Having advice of
What's up?
pushing with advice where the other team is winning and demo has dropped main, and basically it's really hard to push because that has happened in my past scrims.
Are you talking about forward holds?
Basically trying to get the point, like when the other team is winning the point and they are super aggressive.
I was gonna get into that. So, typically, I mean, just the way this map is, if they're forward holding well, it's just tough to break in. And that's when things like four-mans come into play. So, four-manning is pretty much just sending your soldiers, your flank scout, and your demo to go die and sack themselves for whatever pick. What you need to do is spot where they are, and I don't know, if you see the soldier top left and the demo bottom right, then you can kind of generally know where everyone is. Because of the positioning I described when I talked about the forward hold. Essentially, what you need to do is get everyone buffed up wherever, lower, main, wherever, just call it. And then you need to pick a time. So let's say when you're getting buffed, it's like 250, and then you can be like, let's go at 245. So at that point, all of your gamers should know, okay, when the clock that is ticking down hits 245, we will jump through. So pretty much all of you just pick a random door to get through, and then just get through it, and then attempt to kill whoever. Usually you try to sacrifice yourselves onto the medic. If you do that, you can. But if their medic is playing safe enough to where you kind of feel like you can't really get them, then you can, really anybody can call it, but somebody can say, med's too safe, or something along the lines, kill this guy instead. And usually, that might be the demo. If you're playing the position I mentioned, you're usually really safe from four-mans, because you can just back up into house and just stick everything off. So the next priority would be just whatever pick you can get. Really, that's after the med, but if you can't get med, whatever picks you can get. And then once you have those picks, you can utilize them to get through the doors and try to pressure cap and or force. So you know, if you're like better at rocket jumping, I guess if you can do that, then do it. But you know, just I don't know. It's kind of weird to describe something like four-manning, because it's literally just like get healthy, pick a time, go die kind of deal, and kill whoever you can. I guess it it unchains everyone. It's a freeing thing. I don't know, does four-manning kind of make sense to everyone? Was that a yes?
There was one yes.
That was one
Correct.
yes. I need absolute confirmation from everyone.
Everybody, thumbs up
Yeah.
in the chat right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking hard.
So, you know, you can do four-mans. Usually, though, you don't want to be doing four-mans underneath a minute on their timer, so there's 3 minutes, right, in total for both teams that they need to hold the point for. Once the timer gets down to about a minute, you probably shouldn't four-man. In which you just need to break in, so that's where the thing I described earlier would be, where you jump through, everyone gets in, you know. Attempt to pressure out the demo, get space, jump around soldiers, draw eyes, all that cool stuff. And then you're basically back to the mid-fight. So yeah. I guess that's most of the I guess that's pretty much all of like the concepts of King of the Hill / Bagel. There's not really a whole lot. But yeah, I guess I'll talk about the one specific scenario I was talking about earlier. So I talked about four-mans. When you have the point and they have ad, or even if you just want to, you can do one of two things. You can either go to exchange on your scout to force them on point and basically just like burn an extra amount of time on your clock. And that's pretty much what King of the Hill is all about, is just stalling the time as much as you can before they cap. But you can exchange Ubers, just like take your pocket scout, walk into them, shoot them, use Uber, type of deal, burn the time. Or you can four-man for the cap, so because
I need some help.
you're basically four-manning on your time, so I guess what that means is if they decide to, you basically just be like, okay, they have ad, or Uber ad, and they're getting the cap, let's four-man when they half cap. So once the cap timer gets to about half, you know, your explosives should be buffed up, or even just like go, and then you'll all die on point, because that's where people are, right? And then kill whoever, and that basically forces them to stop capping totally, because if you don't know how the spawn timers work on Koth, when you have the cap, your spawn timer is longer. When you don't have it, it's shorter. So if you kill them on when you have the cap and they almost have the cap, then they can't really cap, because then it'll delay their spawners, and they don't want to do that unless they just don't know about it. Then they'll delay their spawners anyway, but then it's a better fight for you guys because you'll have player ad going into them who don't have player ad. Does that kind of make sense? I guess it's kind of hard to describe because you kind of just have to play the map and feel it out. It's better described with a visual reference, I guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's pretty much most of Bagel, I guess. Someone said they had a question earlier, so we can get into that now. Temina.
Yeah, just was about hiding spots.
Hiding spots? Oh,
For Roamer, there has been times where Roamer has been able to get a med pick because a good hiding spot.
yeah, sometimes it's like good hiding spots, and other times is they got behind unspotted. You can consider something like main a hiding spot if you want, because most teams just walk out upper left and lower right. The
This should like zero competitive experience, so they
What?
probably gonna go through left always.
Oh, like left house?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But you're, like, you mean over here, right? Or even regardless, just whichever one the roamer walks through.
Yeah, I mean in rollout they are always gonna go in main.
Yeah, you know, that's just on, like, whichever soldier was supposed to be watching the house, more or less. I don't know, there aren't a lot of hiding spots, like, on mid. I guess there's this. You can't really, like, hide inside it. It looks kind of funny, but you can, like, sit here if you want. But if you're forward holding, you're typically top right or main on soldier. But your demo can put stickies here. It's just cool. Also,
Do you think we should coordinate like high bombs?
yes, definitely. Going in 2 implying 2 seconds. That communicates to both your other soldier and the rest of your team that you want your other soldier to bomb, and you want your team to walk with the bomb. And that's pretty much always like the most effective way of doing it, because if a soldier is just going in by himself, he's gonna get mulched. But if there's 2 soldiers, then that's more health for them to chew through, plus more rockets they have to deal with. And then if there are even more players behind that, plus stickies, plus pellets from scatterguns, it makes it a lot harder to deal with. So if everyone is listening to whichever soldier is calling that and walking with it appropriately, then that would make things a lot easier on everyone. I guess...
That's what my team used to do in
Yeah.
Snake. We used to coordinate the bomb and walk forward to basically win most of the mates.
Yeah, especially on like confrontational maps like Snakewater and Koth maps like Bagel here. What did you just say? Like stuff like that is really good because besides the flank areas, and even less so on Snakewater, the other team has nowhere to go. So, you know, in the words of Marmaluth, TF2 favors the aggressor. Most games favor the aggressor.
Yeah. Also, I think the demo should be constantly spamming stickies on concrete. Because, if you do that, you don't give option to the medic to go through concrete, so you are forcing them to look to the left.
Like to
Well, to your
yard?
right.
I mean,
Like,
when I'm on mid, I'm not too worried about that, because if the demo is shooting sticks on concrete and just like leaving them here, it means my team can play a lot more aggressively on point and just walk in front of the stickies. Plus, I can play in main if I get bombed.
The medic is too forward. The demo should be spamming stickies on concrete, so he can't go there. And therefore, probably a scout could get a pick, or a soldier could bomb.
Yeah, soldier bombing in that scenario is good. But,
yeah, it's like dropping the medic.
But, like, if your demo is using all of their stick... In a scenario where the soldier is bombing, and as they're bombing, they put the sticks on concrete, that's good. But just leaving them on concrete without any other reason is not good, IMO. Because even here, I'm not very... I play here most of the time on medic. You might have seen if any of you watched my playoff game the other day, but I was here most of the time. And I would, like, kite both ways, but I'm here most of the time because of this downward slope. So because of the way slopes work, it's just like harder and weirder to shoot a downward slope than it is like an upward slope like this. It makes spam a lot more funky. So basically just like trap concrete if you have a soldier bombing, but if not, then I don't know, do whatever. You can also like sink stickies. You might see a player named Artist like kind of pioneered it, but at least some bagel.
Rumpus?
You're thinking of the video, yeah, but I mean like specifically on bagel. Like artists fucking love to just do this and just annihilate everything. And it's been like a concept, yes, but a lot of demos didn't really think of doing that a lot of the time. But, I don't know. I give credit to artists because he's what people mostly talked about being like the bagel lord. So yeah, you know, plenty of options for demo. You can sink stickies if you want. You can trap this. This is a good trap that they have to clear every time. Trapping stairs is fine.
Yeah, just follow the
Little
barricade,
bush.
I guess.
Yeah, you can. I guess I can post it too. I'll go find it real quick. Bagel Banny Guide.
Bagel.
Boggle.
Bagel.
Bagel.
We should have more maps that are named like this, I think.
Oh, like food?
Yeah,
I
I'd love
think
to
there's
go
one
play up.
called Croissant. It might be made by the same people. I can't remember.
I guess we have bread space, technically.
Bread space.
Can I run Market Gardener? Yes. I just saw that you typed that.
Yeah, just to try it out in one round.
I
Because
mean,
why not?
you might be thinking of like Jay, who ran Market Gardener, and
More like rigatoni.
sure, Jay's the guy who pioneered it, but Jay was on Pocket Soldier when he did that, so it's not even necessarily a roamer specific thing. I don't know. I guess that's mostly bagel. Small map. Grinder of death. Watch your houses, because you get flanked a lot. But if you notice they're not watching houses, then shove flank. Communicate that you are shoving flank, and everyone should walk and annihilate them. But yeah.
Also, get an explanation why why they remove clear cut.
Like, from the newbie cup pool? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. I was never really told anything. They've had clear cut in past events, so maybe they wanted to just have a different cost map other than clear cut.
Someone asked the question, so they asked it wasn't current in the current RGL map pool, I guess. So that's why they removed it and just gave us Koth Bagel.
Well, that's weird because next season, I think it's either Bagel or Product. I think Product is going to be out of the map pool. But Clear Cut is going to be in the map pool for next season when this cut
Yeah,
ends.
that's what they said, yeah.
It was like division limited, so only IEM players and above could play it, and I don't know why. I don't know
Well,
if the
that's
map is
if
too hard for
that's if
teams to
both
play.
teams came to an agreement that they wanted to play the map for a specific match, as opposed to whatever map was on for that week. Also, Advanced Invite could just play the map whenever they wanted, because Advanced Invite was always pick ban for every match besides like playoffs, right?
Pog.
But for IM main, they could pick clear cut whenever. My team never picked clear cut. I don't think really any team ever picked the alternative map, because that's just kind of odd to do. But, you know.
I don't know, in my opinion, clear cut seems aggressively hard to play with.
I kind of disagree. It's very soldier heavy, and
Yeah, that's right.
comparatively to Process Sunshine, it was probably more comfortable for soldier players to have 2 soldier-centered maps in Snakewater Clearcut as opposed to 3 scout-centered maps like Bagel, Process Sunshine. But you know, that's like just a whole individual topic. Any other questions about Bagel?
No.
Beguile? Bag?
A gilly.
Uh,
A gillial.
should the demo put stickies
Bagel.
on nipple?
You can. Sometimes soldiers like to sit on nipple. A soldier can jump from roof to nipple. So if you have stickies up here, they can't really do that. But you don't want to... You want to keep stickies where, like, you want to set them down for a long time where people are going to want to stand, but you want to, like, air dead them where you don't want them to stand, I guess, if that makes sense. Usually you're air deading on height, but laying on the floor, if that
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
the problem is that sometimes scouts try to touch the point to extend the time limit.
Like on nipple.
Yeah, I like to touch the point.
Yeah, if you see that they're trying to do that, you can totally put sticks up here. Like, be it any surface, I don't know. Yeah. You go to heaven now.
So beautiful. Oh, okay. I guess like, just like in general, where am I supposed to be as Pocket Scout, or where am I supposed to not be?
Not be? Most of the time you're kind of on the floor in front of point, but
Alright.
you can chill like back here on the fence if you want, because you can watch for bombers, like up here better. Because if you're down here, it's hard to watch for bombers because you're on the floor and they can jump really high above you. But back here, it's better. Even better is, I guess I can go on scout real quick. Demo man
Oh no,
dies.
he died. Oh no. Our
Hey, Scout is Pauling.
table
Got a contract for
is
you.
broken.
So at the start of mid, you'll be like up here, just pistoling things, ruining crit heals. Very sad day. If you want to transfer over here, you can, and your soldier isn't standing here. You never want more than one person here, basically. But if you want to stand here, you can. I wouldn't do it for very long, because there have been plenty of times where, like, I stand here for more than, like, 2 seconds, and their demo and their medic just shoot a sticky and a bow at me, and I insta-nuke. Very sad. By the way, this is like super easy to shoot bows at because it's such a narrow place to stand, so I do it all the fucking time where I shoot like soldiers up here and hit them for like 60 to 70. It's really funny. But yeah, if you're trying to bait cap and you're calming that you want to bait cap, you're like either here or here. Just make sure the beam is on you. If you're chill, you're kind of here, watching for soldiers. But that's
assume
kinda like-
your priority in this map should be demo or scout.
both. Like, usually it's just demo scout. That's consistent across both game modes. Unless you're exchanging Ubers, then you want it to stay on scout because he's the fastest and he has the hit scan. You know, you just need to I want to exchange, or let's exchange, and then your med should get on you. and you can tell them to walk with you, and then shoot the med. Ideally, your soldiers in demo are pressuring as well, so that they actually force, but your med will either pop so that neither of you die, or you call the use, and then you're in here. And then usually it's a worse Uber, so you back off. But the point of exchanging on a Koth map is to keep your point and burn time. So that's when you want to do it.
Do you know if the match are gonna get casted?
Yeah. I don't know if
So-
y'all's y'all's will specifically, but I know matches will be casted. Yeah. That's what they do for every event.
I'm scared of that.
Huh?
I'm scared about having my match being casted.
Why?
I don't know, it makes me anxious.
Maybe.
I'm very excited to hear what the casters have to say about my goober gameplay.
Yeah,
Well-
they're gonna laugh at me.
I mean, I casted, I think, the second Newbie Cup, which was 2 winters ago. God, I sound like a fucking, like, ancient wizard. Oh my god. And I guess I can...
14 winters past.
14 winters past! Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording now.